Hello and welcome back to my channel. Caroline Marsh here, and I hope that you're being blessed with the short clips that I'm sharing with you about success in general, predominantly around mindset, financial education, as well as property investments. So today I would like to talk to you about the steps that I believe are so important for one to ensure they become successful at whatever it is you want to embark upon. So the first thing is you want to first of all get clarity on vision. What it is that you want to achieve ultimately. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you feel? Whom have you become for you to be able to actualize that which you desire? The second thing is goals. Now, goals enable you to be clear around the key things you're going to be working on so that you can hit a particular target. So a goal just enables you to ensure you're hitting towards something. Otherwise, it's a case of hit and miss, and you don't really know whether you're making any headway or not at all. So once you're clear around your goals, you now want to come up with a strategy, because the goal, for example, is to make £2,000 a month, $3,000 a month as income coming in, because your vision stipulates exactly the lifestyle you want to create, the impact you want to have, the kind of life that you desire to have. So once you're clear around and knowing exactly what the goal is now bringing into strategy. What must you do? And strategy simply means, for example, you've got something set and these are the key things you're having to work on. So what strategy are you going to implement to ensure that you achieve your desired goal that will feed into you actually living the life that you desire according to your vision that you have crafted? So when you're clear around strategy ensures that you know exactly what must happen between where you are and where you want to get to. And the next step you want to take into account is knowing what are called tactics. And these are simply activities. So what are the things that must happen consistently on a daily basis, that as you're working on these things consistently, it's you're now moving towards actualizing your actual goal. If your goal was to earn £3,000, what activities are you going to engage in? Because your strategy is that you're going to use property investments as a strategy, using either a house of multiple occupation or simply just buying a house and being able to sell it on. That's the key strategy, and the tactics are what are you going to do to ensure you bought the house. So you have to put in activities such as sourcing the property, finding the right team to work with, putting in offers in the property, getting your solicitors on board, getting your finances in order, making sure you can afford the house. If your credit score is not great, making sure your credit score is all done up. So these are the all activities that will feed into you being able to implement your strategy so you can actualize your goal, and ultimately so you can live the dream of what you have designed according to your vision. Now, once you're clear around tactics, you now want to working on important aspects. Now, these are more intrinsic rather than things that you can actually see and experience. So this is about creating a different belief system. You're looking at a different mindset. This is an important aspect in becoming wealthy or even in achieving any goal that you desire to have. Why? Because how you think determines the results that you actually get. There is a formula that talks about thinking. So when you think, the thoughts that you have and are cultivating constantly on a daily basis will lead to how you feel about that particular situation. That will lead to a particular action you're going to take, and it's going to give you a particular result. So your job is to literally guard your heart. And there's some things that we may have picked up when we're younger. When I was growing up, I never picked up some really good habits around money. And so guess what? My mindset around wealth creation was not wired for success. And that meant I had to unlearn some stuff and be able to relearn some other ideologies. And of course, then the rest becomes history. So if your mind is set right as an entrepreneur, or even in building relationships, even your health wise. If your mind is set right, then you would take consistently the same ideas and apply what you believe is the right thing, and do that over and over again until you get to your place of success. And that will also enable you to begin to build on character, the person you must become, looking at the ideas of commitment. Are you committed to doing what you wanted to do, or is it because it's just a phase you're going through? So if you're clear around having the right mindset, cultivating a mindset that is a success mindset, looking at becoming unstoppable, building your mental toughness, tenacity, being a person that is valuable on the inside, seeking to be able to better themselves so they can get to their targets. That alone is one of the key areas that I believe that if I hadn't done personal and professional development, I'm not too sure where I would be today. The last but not least is your habits. Now, habits, obviously, they are so much more in relation to your mindset. So the habits are things that you will do almost automatically without thinking, right? And these have been built up over a number of years. To include better habits, if you want to achieve your goal, you must be intentional in identifying, first of all, the habits that are serving you and the ones that are not serving you. And then you begin to apply and engage in doing all these things consistently. So here is, in wrapping up, what happened to my own world. So we're all in COVID-19 or in lockdown mode. It's a global pandemic and life has hit us all, what left, right, and center. Things have just happened that are beyond our control. So my business has had to pivot. How I did life is not how it's happening right now. So I'm having to relook and rethink and re-strategize so I can prepare myself to be able to, take off when the right time comes for me to be able to take off. So here's what happened on the 30th of March. I sat down looking at every area of my life, had to rewrite my goals and my dreams, because I found out that every day I was waiting for things to go back to normal. Now, the more that I saw the news, the more negative it was, the worse I felt about even my own self. So I thought to myself, hang on a minute, I don't quite like this. And right now I understand the psychology of my thought process. I understand that I am in charge of my destiny. I am, and God has empowered me to be like Him, create like Him. So I'm going to redesign my whole world. And so I sat down to look at all the areas of my life. The goals that I had before, that I planned before, now were no longer in use. They were now no longer serving me. So one of the key areas I identified was my health. I'm not one that, is very careless with my own life, but I do know that I don't take care of my body as I ought to. So I wasn't. In fact, now I do, but I wasn't before then. So I set up myself a vision. What do I want to look like by the end of the year? How do I want to feel about myself? What about my physical being? What about my health? How about what I eat? How about the exercise that I do? Looking at the inside of me, and then looking at the relationship that I have with my own body, and setting myself a target. So I then had a goal, okay? Put myself a goal, because I've done the whole vision thing. Set myself a goal to say, right, over the next 90 days, I must get to this amount of weight, this level of fitness, this level of lifestyle in terms of food, and that became the journey. So with my 100-day goal, as I'm speaking to you today, I have 30 days to go before I get to my 100-day goal. And guess what? I am so happy. Why? Because I can see the value of applying myself. What did I have to do? Clarity of vision. What did I have to do next? Set myself some goals. What did I have to do next? Look at the strategy. What am I going to have to do? Do I run? Do I go on a bike? Do I just do sit-ups in my home and exercise? Do I use YouTube? And then from there, clarify the tactics, activities that must happen, changing my mindset, okay? Having a good relationship with food and with my own body, honoring myself, honoring my body. Finally, habits. I now knew, right, if I have to exercise, I have to wake up at X amount of time to ensure maximum performance. And guess what? I'm pleased to announce that today I have just over 30 days to go and I'm on target. In fact, I've exceeded my own target. Why do I share with you? Anything, be it money, your health, your relationship, you can take on full control of your personal life and begin to work in these areas and become successful. So I hope that you be blessed, because I will share with you ideas around property investments, what's worked, what's not worked, what to avoid, and the rest will be inspiring. God bless.